Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman YouTube channel, the Hunter Collective. Today we've got Felix in the chair. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you.
You good? You good? Got a lot of hair there, man.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Big old mop of hair. So, basically looking to, keep a nice little bit on top of the length, pretty much, keep it long.
Okay.
Kind of like a taper on the sides, just the knee and it up a lot.
Yeah.
So really kind of when I'm going out, keep it long on top, slip it back.
Brilliant.
Just hanging around with my mate.
Just leave it to fall in like that, into curtains, All right, man. Yeah, sweet. All right, cool. On the back and sides, doing like a tidy effect, I always think to take it off the ears. It's always nice because in that way you've got the balance of the length on the top, but you're not having to kind of sacrifice all the length. So you can just taper it down to the ears a bit tighter. What do you want to do with the neck and this, like the sideburns? Do you want to maybe fade them right out for some like a bit of contrast to like the length on top?
No, yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Down to a bit of scalp exposure as well, do you reckon?
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right, sweet.
Especially at the back.
All right, sir. So a bit of a kind of modern take on the curtains then, yeah? All right, yeah, sweet. All right. Sounds like a good plan. Good bit of I don't know, I think it's a wicked look for you. I think, you know what the funny thing is? You kind of suit it. You got that hair and that kind of, you're so like, you just seem dead chilled. And I think it kind of works, you know what I mean? I think doing that little modern twist, we take the neck right down to like scalping, so like a proper taper, very sharp edges. Maybe even fade the sides down to maybe the stubble as well, on the very sideburns. And then kind of work with that length, pulling it all the way across, keeping that length, but also when you get a bit of, so you put a bit of pomade or something, you slick it right back. Almost a bit like that kind of Boardwalk Empire. I don't know if you've ever seen that film, but yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's basically what this is. You got pretty much the same. His name's Michael Pitt, I think his name is in real life. Yeah, I can't remember his name in the character, in the show. I used to love that show, but I can't remember his name. But I think we'll do a bit more of a modern take on that as well. So that'd be quite cool. All right then, mate. Right, so I'm sure you just heard Felix doing a bit of a modern take on a sort of slightly Boardwalk Empire-y, slightly curtains-y kind of finish. So this should be an interesting one, this one. I'm looking forward to this. Right, let's give it a wash and condition and then we'll start. All right, man? Right, guys, so I've just shampooed and conditioned Felix's hair. Now, I'm looking forward to this one because this will be really, really cool. It's going to be a really cool take on this. And I think it's something that it's like, before you ask as well, Liam, there's no name for this. All right, this is just the Felix, I think, or something like that. I don't know. There is no name for this one, right? I am going to start with a horseshoe section, okay? Purely to separate the back and sides to the top, because this is what we want to do. We want to leave a lot of the length on the top. So I'm doing it just at the round of the head. And again, we're looking to kind of, I think it'd be quite nice to leave, so like at least half the length up here, just graduate it down. Just like when it falls back, you've got a bit of sweep coming through the disc. Like, it's essentially going to be a disconnection, this haircut. My only concern is when you do a disconnection on somebody who aren't going to really wear it like that, I always find that almost can ruin the haircut that you're trying to achieve or the look you're trying to achieve. But I think with Felix, I think his attitude and just his personality is definitely going to be able to rock this one. So I'm quite keen to do it. So what was the haircut like before you got this done then, Felix?
Pretty much just a standard skin fade, really, man.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to use my clippers for this clipper over comb. Now I want to reduce the bulk quickly and also create that shape as well. We'll work down, I'm going to literally just work right down so we see scalp exposure. And I'll switch over to my other clippers and start to really work that fade in as well. I want to take off, say, about half the length. So we've still keep a bit of length up there as well. Elevate and cut. Now adding that elevation is going to leave it lying heavy over. So as we work into that taper, it'll look really nice. You've got a really sharp contrast of it being quite heavy. Again, quite 90s inspired, in a sense. We're just working some nice clipper over comb, nice and short, and working up and off. On the guide from the right hand side, taking it off. There's a guide. And we can work comb towards me to create that nice bit of weight. Elevation. I'm just going to work it down. It's a nice length around the ears. I think fits quite nice. On top, there's a lower section. Comes nice seamlessly as well, so you've got that kind of seamless transition from the length at the top at the round of the head into the shorter length around the ears. Pull it up, see that elevation in the section? Again, just working so the teeth come facing towards me as we get to that occipital bone. Not over, leaving a lot of weight on there, so that'll really show off that kind of taper fade as well down to the neckline. From the bottom, Moving all that length up to our section, to our guide, and as you can see, we get to our guide, nothing comes off. Same thing again. Basically working down into the stubble length, which is about a 1. There you go, 1.5 guard on. Open. Here's the 2 guard. Clip rubber comb. Just turn the lever down now. I'm just working it up and off. So I'll maintain that length through there. So I'm going to edge up the hairline a bit, just give a bit of a twist on this. Go to the 1. Half guard, open. 2. Do some clip rubber comb. I'm going to dry this off a little bit now. On my number 2 guard, I'm going to work up and off. Don't take too much off. Let's just set the nice base of where I want to start doing that blending down from. You just use the 2.5, flip up and off. A 0 line in, and raise up the neckline. Onto my 1.5 now. Working up and off to my 2. To my closed 1, so my true 1. So open blade onto my 1/2, up into my 1. Just working down through the lever until I get down to 0. There we go. Using the clipper comb, I'll blend that up and out. Without working over the comb. Just popping the 1 guard back on again, just to go over any little bits you need to. Into the neckline, so you see it going from a nice sharp line into absolutely nothing. Hey for you, buddy. Yeah, so it's not like mega short, but there's still, you know what I mean? But we've got that nice taper, you'll see at the end, all right? So, 90s, curtains inspired, Boardwalk Empire inspired. So essentially what we're going to do with this is, we want to keep a lot of the length on top, believe it or not. But all we do is we had to cut it in a way that is going to give that kind of curtains effect. So as it brings it back, it all connects at the back. But as you let it loose, it falls a bit short here and goes down. So I'll show you how to do that. So straight from the nose and down. So we're trying to encourage his hair to fall in the center. And then when he wants to pop it back, we give him a very strong hold product and he whips it back. All right, section it off just the round of the head at the back. So to pick it up, you'll see a guide underneath. It's a section from earlier on. There, put that nice and straight. That's it. That lies nice and heavy. We'll break that up in a little bit. So we do, we'll match that up and cut it on this angle, okay? Now that's the angle I want to bring this on, okay? Just straight on from like that. That's the angle I want to do, okay? All the way down. And then Again, so we end the very longest point of the hair. Since you got proper curtains. But what happens is, when you bring this back, you sweep it all the way back, it all connects. Same thing from this side. There's my guide up there. There we go, nothing at the end. As you watch this now, bring this all the way back, and what we've got is that Boardwalk Empire disconnection. But as you see, it connects through the back. But when he doesn't want to, once it's to fall, he ends up with his curtains as well. But what he's got a very lovely classic taper, so a bit of a twist on the 90s here. So normally a 90s sort of curtains would be right up and blunt, but with this we've left a little bit of length and just faded down. So we're just kind of adding a little bit of our contemporary kind of taper fades that we're seeing a lot of now into this haircut. All right. Now I just want to break up the back bit, pull it out a little bit, and just cut into it to break it up a bit. Right. What I'll do is I'll dry it off. And I'll show Felix what it's like when it's just the centre part, so you can see what it's like. And then if you want me to, do you want me to pop a little bit of pomade in and slick it back for you as well? Yeah, sure. So that looks like it. So I'm just going to dry it in the centre part. So what you've got is that real 90s, quite grunge centre part. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll just show you the back, okay? Put it right down. So you've got that real kind of like twist on what we've, what is around now. I'll show you the sideburns in a sec so you can see it. But essentially just that really heavy centre part that falls down the middle. So quite rock and roll-ish actually in the way.
Yeah, no, yes.
It's cool, isn't it? So that's one look that you can do. That's your everyday kind of get out of bed. If you just shake your head for me, like you would do if you just go here. That's it, okay? Essentially that, right? Now, let's just mix it up a little bit, okay? Let's put a bit of pomade in this and slick it back. A sort of, again, pea-size amount, right? Half of that in the back of your hand. You don't want to put loads of pomade straight away. You want to layer it in slightly, okay? What we do now, start off from the back, bring it into the hair like this, okay? So you get that real kind of wet look, okay? Into the hair, like so. A tiny little bit more, just from the top, there, like so. Wide tooth comb, just bring that back, like so, okay? Start from the sides, like that, all the way from the front to the back, like so. We're end up with this two completely different looks, just to make it look a bit more like his. Just run your fingers through it like that. Let's give it more of a kind of natural effect. This looks wicked. Like so. And then you can end up with that. So what you've got is that nice classic swept back disconnection into that really nice taper, but also at the sideburns being super tight as well. That's down to a 0.5 on the sideburns, and knit with that. Right. Like two haircuts basically. Yeah. It's cool, isn't it? Yeah.
Pretty cool, man.
Nice, mate. If you're brave enough for curtains, mate, you can have this haircut, So yeah, that's it really. Quite a nice simple one really. Just a bit of a modern twist on what we're doing at the moment. So yeah, we did some clipper over comb on the back and sides just to kind of reduce the bulk and build that shape. Worked right down to a skin taper on the neck, and then on the sideburns, not as short, but down to like a 0.51 on the sideburns, or just to give that kind of really nice close finish. Essentially, we cut it into a centre part and worked it from short to the back and graduate it long down this way. So pick the angle you want, longer, shorter, whichever way the angle becomes. It becomes, say, on this angle, obviously it'll get longer down the front, higher up, etc. Then that was essentially it, right? So that was his centre, that was like the centre part he likes, the curtains kind of look. That is his everyday, just go for them all and leave it, right? I think it's quite rock and roll, but a bit more like rock and roll, kind of 90s look. And then this was kind of just a bit of pomade, swept back, bit of hairspray to finish, had that little bit of gloss, a little bit of a more, not like a really slick back one, more like that kind of Michael Pitt, Boardwalk Empire kind of finish where it's a little bit messy. It's not perfect. But what's nice about that is that it exposes everything else as well. So you see that real classic finish. You've got the 90s finish with the kind of, with our like our 2020 kind of taper fade. having like a bit of a twist of two areas. But then obviously on this one, you got that kind of really classic finish with the taper, so it kind of more blends in. But again, it's just giving Felix a couple of different looks that he can try out if he's going out anywhere or just fancies changing it up.
Fine.
Happy, yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.